Hey guys, this is my second Q&A. I'm really excited to do this again and hope you guys are too. I get all my questions from my Instagram followers. It's Sammie Jo 19. So if you have any questions to ask me in the future, please go to my Instagram and DM or watch my story for when I ask for more questions. And if you like all of my videos, please hit that like and subscribe button. And also keep an eye out for that giveaway because I love you guys and it'll be after the new year. Let's get started. Hi, baby. Hi. Hi, Mom. Alright guys, so the first question of my Q&A asked by my followers was, what is your favorite hoop size to flow with? My favorite hoop size is a 29-inch 3/4 inch diameter hoop. The difference between 3/4 and 5/8 diameter is the width of it, and 3/4 is the bigger one. I used to absolutely love 5/8, and that's the only hoop I had until I tried 3/4 for the first time again after trying it when I first started hooping like 3 years later, and totally fell in love, and I haven't turned back since. I occasionally will use 5/8, but 3/4 is my go-to size, and also 29-inch. Second question. If you were to choose one, would it be body or off-body hooping? Oh, and that was on-body hooping. That's a hard one. I love both on-body and off-body. As you can see in my videos, I like to incorporate both into my flow. I would say off-body hooping because I can be a little bit more creative and working my brain a little bit more than on-body. On-body is more of just a feel-good sesh, letting go of the emotions, stress of the day, and all that jazz. So definitely off-body hooping, I think, because I love working my brain, creating new combos, and seeing what I can do that day. How do you get a more consistent flow when it comes to fire? Always get tripped up and stumped on moves. I'm still not very comfortable with fire, to be honest. I'm still working on it. I have got Kevlar sleeves. You don't see very many of my videos or practices. I don't even do that many that aren't recorded. But I know I need to get more comfortable with the flame, and the only way to do that is to play with the flame. And it's really scary, but it's something that I am determined to overcome. And like I said, I bought some Kevlar sleeves to help me. Those I've heard helped a lot of people. I'm really excited to test those out, I think this week or weekend. And also just knowing someone who is really comfortable with fire helps you learn. My boyfriend, absolutely natural with fire. He inspires me to get to his level of comfort. It took him like 3 tries, and he was just doing what he normally does with poi, and I'm just like, what? Although hooping and poi, fire hoops and fire poi are just slightly different, as with hoops you have to relearn your movements and where you place your hands, and that's the hardest part, I think. So my biggest tip for that is practice your fire hoop unlit. Constantly just use it with it unlit. Think about your hand placement, what you're doing, and just constantly watch where your hand is with moves, and that way you can understand when you may need to only do 1 rotation of that, or you have to do 2 or 3. Like if it's a push ISO, your hand may get caught by a wick, so then you have to do it an extra time so that your hand gets to an empty spot to continue. Hi, baby. Hi. Saying hi? Can you go lay down? Go lay down. Thank you. So like I said, just play with fire and it'll just come naturally to you. Let's go to the next question. They asked if my nipples were pierced, and the answer is no. I have thought about it, although I am a big pain baby. I absolutely hate pain, so that seems like an odd thing for me to ever have thought about or want. Could it be a possibility? Maybe. What does hoop wax do? Hoop wax is an added grip. So like there is sanding and grip tape to add grip to your hoop on bare hoops, there is also wax. Wax, you can use candle wax. I've also heard of car wax. Any type of wax, I guess, that adds that extra form of grip on the inside. It will just give you that extra friction. That's what I'm looking for. Sanding and tape adds that extra layer or that extra just texture to give you that grip, while hoop wax adds that friction for you. Let's go to the next question. Your unforgettable favorite moment at a show. Whew. There are lots of memories. To choose one, let me do a quick little think through here. I'm gonna have to say my very first festival, or my second festival, were both Wakarusa's, and both had memories I will never forget and I cherish forever because they're just one-of-a-kind stories, and I love that I experienced it. It was a great experience. But anyway, so Wakarusa 2014, first festival, had no idea what to expect. It was technically my first show. I went to one Josh Turner show before, so I don't really count. I mean, it's counted, it's a show I went to, but nothing what I could have experienced or expected for a music festival. And so we get to Wakarusa 2014, it's the first day. We get there, it's all fun, I'm excited. Michael Franti's our very first show. We get there, have a blast, and then later that night, we're at main stage. It's dark now, and we're standing a little bit back from the sound booth area, so we're about halfway from the stage. And my friend at the time, he was in a sling because he had broke his shoulder, so he was putting in his earbuds to help his ears, and he said wait. So we're waiting for him, and he's trying to put him in this little sling, and we're waiting, and I just out of the corner of my eye see this guy naked start climbing the metal poles of the sound booth. I was like, am I literally, am I seeing this right? So I look around, no one else notices, they're all just looking at the show, and Corey's, trying to put his earbuds in. And I'm just like, you guys, it's like, look up! And point up. They look up and they're like, no way, there's this naked guy just climbing, just going all the way to the top of the sound booth. He wasn't stopping. And the only thing we could tell was that he had long dreads down past his butt, but we knew for sure that he was naked. He gets up to the top, and we're like, what is he gonna do? Is he gonna jump? He gets up there and he just goes, woo! He gets back down and starts hustling down, because I guess he didn't want to get in trouble, and it might have been a dare. I still don't know the story of why he did it. Gets about halfway down, and we see security guys already are waiting for him at the very bottom. So we're like, hold on, before we get into the show, let's watch the end of this. So security guys are waiting, the guy's climbing down, and we're like, well, what's gonna happen? The guy thinks he's gonna be slick and starts monkey bars swinging through the sound booth like he's gonna take off into the crowd. This big security guard, he was pretty beefy. He grabbed the guy by the dreads, yanked him down to the ground, put one foot on him. That was it. They waited for the rest to grab him because he didn't want to touch the naked guy, and that's the end of my story. I know that's pretty long. I apologize. I love telling stories. Get it from my mom. But yeah, that's one of my most memorable festival experiences. And then, to top it off, we go to Wakarusa 2015, the very last Wakarusa, and we're at the Black Tiger Sex Machines show. It's the sunrise set. And so it's like 5 a.m. I'm all tired, but it's BTSM. I can't miss it. So I'm standing there, I'm raging. It's almost the end of their set. And all of a sudden I look up. I don't know why I keep getting this intuition to look. I look up and there's this naked guy up in the tree. But the weird part is the fence that keeps us inside the stage, that tree's on the other side. So I was like, he climbed up this 7-foot fence over that and then climbed a tree. So confused. So whole thing goes down. This guy's up in the tree. We think he's on some drugs because he's doing some yoga poses, not even holding on to any of the branches, just hanging from this tree. He's doing some crazy stuff, dancing in the tree, and he's completely naked. And we're like, how is he not hurting himself? Security's down there. They don't want to climb up after him because that would be dangerous. There wasn't another branch until like 13 feet up, so we're like, how do you get up there? Security's down there with some shorts waiting for him to get down. Keep throwing them up to him. He keeps throwing them down. At this point, Black Tiger Sex Machine notices and is like, whoa, Naked Tree Guy! So that's deemed the name of Naked Tree Guy. He's up there. We're waiting for him to get down. He finally gets to the ground. And we all go, woo! Puts on his pants. Security guys, we're letting him just put on his pants. This guy was slick. He barely got him up, started sprinting, took off. Well, what they did that year is they had some saran wrap with some paint in between, so it added layers and made like this beautiful mural. It was really cool. Well, because it was saran wrap, he didn't see it. He's booking it. He gets clotheslined by this freaking art installation. Hits the ground. I'm on the top of this hill, and I swear I could have felt that thud all the way up that hill. And then he gets up and still is running. And then at that point, the security guy starts running after him. But he's going after that other 7-foot fence on the other side, and he's already halfway up it. Security guy doesn't even start climbing the fence, jumps, grabs the guy, they fall into the fence and fall over, and that's the end of the story. Next morning we wake up, we just happened to see him in his camp with his friends. We're like, how did he not get kicked out? So we walked up, he walked away, and his friends told us that he had a god complex. And so he was not on any drugs, and that is why they did not kick him out. Great story. So that's my most memorable festival experience. 2 of them. It was for a show, but I go to more festivals than shows. So, sorry about that, but that's it. Alright, let's go to the next question. What event did you excel at in competitive swimming? Swimming is badass, they say. Thank you. I excelled at freestyle or IM. I was mostly a mid-distance swimmer. I was a 200 or 500, even the mile freestyle swimmer. That was my thing. I was always in the distance side, mid-distance of the meet. It took me a minute to get my speed going and I could hold it. I was not really a sprinter, even though I would love to have been a sprinter. But I am too. I was a little bit of an IMer. Not like, oh, I could have got some records with IM, but I was pretty decent in all the strokes and I could have done them. So I was in both of those events quite often, was freestyle or IM. Let's go to the next question. It says, what's your favorite thing to watch, like movies and TV shows? I watch a lot, just like I like having background noise in my day, and not even just music. Sometimes I get tired of hearing music because I also like having something for my eyes to occasionally look up and see. I guess it's just kind of like extra motion. It feels like more bodies, more activities around me. But I really enjoy like watching. I watched The Vampire Diaries all the way through. I just finished that this summer, and let me tell you, I bawled like a baby. I waited because I knew I was going to. I watched the show since it came out every day. And until I moved about 5 years ago, then I didn't have cable and stopped watching. I also really enjoy any comedy TV, like cartoons, so like Big Mouth is good. I like Family Guy, Simpsons. I like Bob's Burgers. There's just so many TV shows that I've watched and I enjoy. I'm trying to think off the top of my head. Haunting of Hill House and Ozarks. Let me tell you, those are the most recent shows I've seen that I'm like gung-ho. Like, I watched Ozarks 3 times in a month. It was that good to me, but let me just explain why. My boyfriend was out of town on a business trip, and I watched Ozarks all the way through it, and I was like, oh my gosh, you're gonna love this show! And so I had to watch it a second time through, because when I first started watching it, like I said, I had started it as a background, so I wasn't really paying that much attention. Watched it a second time through, and I was like, yes, this show is the shit, you're gonna love it. And so then when he came back from his business trip, that's when we watched it the 3rd time. So I watched Ozarks 3 times, and I could watch it again. I love that show. It's just, I like anything that, not really horror or scary, but action and like gets your adrenaline pumping, makes you think. I like the action thrillers. Those are my things. Someone asked how old I am. Well, I want to say, how old do you guys think I am? But I'd probably get like 18. Everyone thinks I'm pretty young. But I'm actually 23. I'm going to be 24 next July, so I'm about halfway through my year of 23. 19 was my favorite year of all. 19 is my golden birthday and lucky number. But I am 23. And the last question is, what got you into hooping? I think I answered a little bit on my last Q&A of what got me into hooping, but definitely my very first festival, Wakarusa, saw it there, went home, bought my first hoop, and that's what started it all. I also had a friend at that festival that said she wanted to start with me, and we started together, but she kind of fell off and stopped hooping, and I was like, I can't stop hooping. This is my shit. And the very last question is, what's it like to be a sponsored hooper? Pros and cons. It's different for every sponsorship, so look for the hoop shop that you want to represent. They all have different requirements for sponsorships. So it depends on who you go for. I only know of how Whirl and Dervish and the Spinsters hold their sponsorships, which is very professional. They like to keep about 2 or 3 posts, I believe, either a week or a month. But they also take care of their hoopers. So we get a free hoop every 6 months, and we get points or cash for how many sales we make. And that promotes us getting out there and promoting for the shop as well. So it's like a second job for some, and for some it's pretty laid back. So it depends on what you're looking for and what your goal as a hooper is. I am personally wanting to be a performer, a teacher, and an all-around spread of hoop love, and Spinsters is the perfect sponsorship for me. And so when you find the perfect hoop shop and sponsorship for you, things will align and it'll be beautiful. And so always look for a shop you want to represent solely as their product, and also as how they represent themselves. And also know it's not just about free hoops, it's also keeping up with a good, positive image in the community. Thank you guys for tuning into my second Q&A. I love doing these for you guys. If you like all my videos, hit the like and subscribe button. And if you want to see more life and flow videos, go to my Instagram, Sammie Jo 19. And keep an eye out for that giveaway I'll be posting after the new year, because I love you guys. You guys are awesome. Thank you guys again for tuning in. I fucking love you. Have a good night. Thank you.